Hi guys, Rebecca the Explorer here. Today is 3/12/2017. The time is 5:24 Eastern Standard Time. The date in New Zealand would be 3/13/2017. Anyway, in front of me you can see I have a map of Google Earth and we're going to start back at the 11th. And the first quake that I'm going to show is a 4.9, which is what I ended my last update with. This 4.9 is right here. It was at a depth of 29 kilometers and it was 40 kilometers south of St. Arnold. The next quake was a 3.2 happening near Sudden, and it was in the water. Our next quake was a 2.7 at 127 kilometers in depth. If you can tell, I've been looking at this area over here. It looks kind of like I don't know. Let's see if we can land anywhere. Nope. Anyway, this is where they're doing forestation, but it looks like they may be doing a little bit of mining and other stuff in this area. The next quake was a 2.5, was at 115 kilometers in depth. And if you see, they're doing some more work over in here. This looks like a forestation project maybe, and no idea what the rest is. Anyway, the next quake was a 3.0. This occurred hang on. Offland. I'm not in, it's Wareda. The next quake was a 2.3 and 116 kilometers in depth. It looks like it hit somebody's driveway. This is near Lake Oreka in Rotorua. The next two quakes, one was a 5.0 by EMSC. And the reason I brought it up is because it was over here off of Chile. And it was followed by 4.7, which is right over here. And I tend to look at the lines that come around and a note that it comes around this way. Anyway, neither here nor there. The next quake was a 2.2 at 94 kilometers in depth. was on the other side of the line, near Lake Taupo. We get a good look at this area too. And always look at this line because I see what differences falls on both sides of the line. So this line here. Our next quake was a 3.2. I'm sorry, a 3.8. And I need to fix my color. I was rushing through and some of them did not get the proper flag on them. Anyway, this was a 3.8, which is near Taranaki. The next one was a 3.2. This one was also within the same area and not very far apart. The next one was a 2.5. It was 92 kilometers depth. And this one was over here off of Opatiki. So within this area. Then we had a 2.8, a 2.2, a 1.8, and a 2.4 at 109 kilometers in depth, which is also over here in the Bay of Plenty. And I've been seeing a lot of the deeper quakes over in here and up into here. Then we had a 2.5 at 50, which really isn't that deep, but if you take the depths I've noticed in the areas and you add them together, then you end up with your larger quakes too. So it's just something I'm noticing. We had a 1.9, a 1.6, 1.5, and a 2.3, followed by a 2.4. And then we had a 2.6, which was followed by a 3.5 at 87 kilometers in depth, which was over here. Now this one here, I believe it came from this one, which came down here, turned, went this way, and hit down here. So the next one was a 2.4 at 100 kilometers in depth. And this was over here off of Rapejo. So we get a good look. This is a nice volcano for those of you who haven't seen it. It's pretty big. And it has a lake at the top. The next earthquake was I had just listed these. That was the 5.7 and the 5.0. They actually occurred before that one. I just didn't get them in the right place at the right time. Then followed by the 3.4, which is over here off of Hicks Bay. Then a 2.9. Then there was a 3.0, which is on the other side of this red line, which is right here. Linden Hill. Ah, look at that. Okay, and that was followed by a 2.2 at 86 kilometers in depth. Let's pull this down here. This is also over here at the Bay of Plenty. That was followed by a 3.1 all the way down here at the front of the South Island. And you can tell there's a stream running through there. And it looks like water up in here. The black gold. So it's all water around in here. Wet jacket arm. The next one was a 2.9 followed by a 4.7. At foot arm. That's funny. Foot arm. Foot arm heel cove. Toe cove. Foot arm heel cove. Foot arm. Dora, Lake Dora, and Lake Pan. Some names. Cat stop. Turn. Get a good look. Secretary Island. Doubtful sound. Wow. Anyway. Where were we? 3.1. 3.7. Which is further back down the island by Sudden. Which is followed by some 2.0, 2.6, 1.2, 1.5, 2.0, 1.5, 1.6, and a 2.8, 2.1, 1.5, 2.3, 1.6, 2.1, 1.9, which was followed by a 3.1. Which is over here near Hawaii. And these here are irrigation. Let's see if we can walk around. I see a road. So we got a good look. Lower flat road. That was followed by a 1.9 and then a 1.9 at 116 kilometers in depth. Tell. That quake was followed by a 2.7 at 62 kilometers in depth, a 2.9, a 2.2, a 2.6, a 0.8, a 2.1, a 2.4, a 1.5, a 2.4, a 1.3, a 1.9, a 2.4, 2.1, a 2.5, and then a 2.5 at 85 kilometers in depth. That was followed by a 3.4 over here near Sudden. That was followed by a 1.7, a 2.4, a 1.7, a 2.1, and then a 4.2 at 40 kilometers in depth. This is also here at the end of the North Island, near Bay of Plenty. That was followed by a 3.4 at 48 kilometers in depth. And this one here, I think it could actually equal out to a 4.0 in this area. And I'll tell you why in a few minutes. The next one was a 2.4, a 2.0, a 2.5, a 2.4, followed by a 3.8 at 375 kilometers in depth. This one here can go up to almost 2 megs larger, so we're looking at around a 5.8. Now as it sits on this side of the line, if you look where it's at, this one here can actually go straight. It could go this way, and if it goes this way then it'll affect this side, or it can come down in here, come down in here, or come down this way. That was followed by a 2.6 and then a 2.4 at 134 kilometers in depth. That was followed by a 4.6. So that one there I believe would be your 5.0, but it didn't release as big. Or I'm going to look in a few minutes. That was followed by a 2.2 at 50 and a 2.5 at 123 kilometers in depth, which is over here off of Sudden. Now we're going to go back up. I'm going to turn these off for a minute. I don't know what I still have on. Oh yeah, I still have the other ones on. I have stuff today's to do. Okay. Oops. Come back. Okay. Gonna close this one. And then we're going to today's. These are the ones that have happened since I got up this morning. Okay. Had a 1.7, and this is all in order. A 1.7, and then a 2.7, then a 2.8 at 45 kilometers in depth, which is over here off of Matuka in Tasman. Then a 2.4, a 1.1, a 1.5, a 1.9, 2.0, a 0.8. Let me show you where the 0.8 was. Not anything major, but I'm not sure what these are. I was looking at this. You can see some trucks, and I think I wasn't able to land here. But I was trying to figure out what these are. I've seen two of them. There's another one over here. So I don't know what they are. And there's another one here. And then I've seen these. So I don't know what that is. And that's a military place, so I assume maybe it's a military range or something. But anyway, there was a 0.8 there. Then there was a 1.5, a 2.1 at 1.7 at 40 kilometers in depth. Then a 2.7. This 5.1 occurred out here by Fiji. That was actually 4 hours prior to these quakes. And it was at 602 kilometers in depth. And I pulled that from EMSC. This was over here in the Fiji area. This one here can actually go this way, and it sits on that D. So I'm assuming that part of this will come this way, so it'll probably be, if you're looking at 2 mags bigger, that would make it a 7 going this way, so a 6 this way. Okay, our next quake was a 2.2 at 55 kilometers in depth. Which is over here near Arapawa Island. And it was a 1.5. The next one was a 3.6. Let me fix my flag. And this is near Taranaki, and so that 3.6 and the 2.9 are almost within the same area. Then we had another 2.9, which was actually right here. Sorry, I'm like getting the wrong one. We had a 2.3 at 50 kilometers in depth. And it looks almost like a crack here in the soil. So that's what I was looking at. But this is water that comes this way. Then there was a 2.6. Okay, so that is it for now. So we're going to look, and what I'm seeing is that off of this, we should be looking for at least a 5 to 5.5 around here. So probably down in here. If I turn these back on to show you everything for the last week, you can see everything that's happened for the last week. But what I'm mostly focusing on is this area here. You can see what our swarms are. They fall on both sides of these lines. And let me go and turn off what I don't need. The east faster way to find it. So it's further down. Silly me. Okay, now we got those turned back on. And what I noticed was, if you can see this one here, was followed by this one here. And then there's one here, and one here. They follow out to the ones that are out here. They seem all evenly spaced, pretty much. You have one here, one here, one here, one here. But when I focus on these areas, I see this 3.4 at 48 kilometers in depth, then the 49. So this area here, I think there's going to be another 4. That one was before them, so I think there's going to be another 4. It's going to be in here somewhere. We had a 4.6 here. But we're still looking for a 5. Anyway, you guys, much love. Keep your eyes open. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Have a plan. And remember to check in with Dutchsinse. Kind of miss him being here to say what's what. Anyway, much love.